Right, think we're here. Hello everybody, welcome. Let me just sort out my screens here. Just put that one over there and that one over there. There we go. Okay, how is everybody? Welcome to Yolandi, as above so below. Richard and Dandy X Randy is here. Hello. This is the Covenstead. Let me start the music. Let's see, we've got the, it's my day list. It's the Trippy Rock Hippie Sunday Evening playlist, day list, whatever. So, let's just rewind that and we can go from the start. There we go. And Ivan is here. Hello Ivan, thanks for joining. Alright, so first things first, let's do sound checks and video checks and all that. Can you hear me properly? Can you hear the music properly? Do I need to turn one up or turn one down? Oh, I can turn the music up. Let me know. Is that saying my bit rate's low? No, good connection. How's above so below, all is good on this end, good stuff, and Yolandi, everything is fine. Ivan, okay, so everybody can hear everything fine, music's good. Alright, how is everybody doing? Anybody who is or has not done or been to the Covenstead, this live thing before, it's just witches chatting, getting together, asking questions. If anything you want to just run by everybody, just put it in the chat, and well, I'll discuss it with you. I'm not sure about everybody else because it's chat time. Ivan, feeling great. That's good stuff. Okay, what do I will start with? Oh, books I'm reading. I am actually reading a brilliant book at the moment. I'm loving it. It's Cunning Words, and it's by Marshall W.S.L. I'm going to review this. Where are we now? Oh, end of September. Really good book. It's short tales that he created, and they're really good. It's like good storytelling stuff. Oh, Arwin is here overall. I am okay, that's good. And Luke's, hello. Yeah, this week's been a bit weird. I've been a bit ill this week actually. Better now. I've still got a bit of vertigo, but feeling okay. Yeah, but that book, brilliant. When he really started it, so I'm in the part 1, which is the stories. Part 2 is the, it looks like it's poetry, and then part 3 is, I think he's extracted all the spell work and things out of the tales, because it's all full of spell work, methods of doing spells, and you know, working with the crossroads god and all of that stuff. He's woven it into the stories themselves. It really is a great book and it's fantastic. Salem's here. Hello Salem. I like short stories. I like short stories myself as well. They're very good. I'm actually reading another one which is kind of weird. Just get the title of it. It's on my phone. It's actually a collection of... Oops. No, go that way. It's a Bloody hell. Go that way. There we go. It's a collection of, I'm going to say short stories, but they're kind of like supernatural, supernatural detective stories. That was the word I was looking for. It's called Fighters of Fear by Mike Ashley, and it starts off with, like the first one. Let me just go back to the book and get to the chapters, which are here. The first one is Green Tea by Joseph Sheridan Le Fanu, which is like late 1800s. Starts there, and then the next one is Shining Pyramid by Arthur Machen, also very, very old author. He wrote The Great God Pan. And then it starts going through up until modern times, so really interesting at the moment. I just really just started that one, so, but very, very interesting stuff. Richard, sounds like a great book, absolutely brilliant. Well, the other one as well. Andrea's here. Hello, Andrea. Welcome. Right, if anybody's got anything they want to chat about, discuss, ask questions, put it in the chat, and we'll talk about it. Salem, with Halloween coming up, been listening to Halloween short stories. Yeah, that was also good. It's actually Beltane coming up here in the Southern Hemisphere, so it's warming up this side. Well, it will be. It's been cold this week, but it'll start warming up again. We're coming to the middle of spring soon. Right, what else can I tell you guys while we're getting people on? Oh, Luke's, can you give me advice how to purify my energy from past, God and church, and be fully with Lilith? So that's really a deprogramming thing, and it's actually something you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. You know, even I myself, like, well, it's been 30 years now. Yeah, been actually a bit longer than 30 years since I left the church, but I even myself now, I still catch myself every now and again with something I've brought across that I don't like, but it really is it's deprogramming, and there are some methods you can go through which are like recommended within traditional witchcraft, which kind of, it's more almost like an act of blasphemy to kind of break yourself, break the chains type of thing. But I think really what you need to do is just carry on learning whatever you need to learn about witchcraft, magic, whatever your path is. And whenever those things come up, you know, the worldview from your past that doesn't fit into the worldview you're trying to create, just sit down. Don't try and reject them. Sit down, understand what you don't like about them, what you don't like about the particular thing, and work through it. You know, it's no good just kind of trying to break free of it and just reject it outright, because you don't understand what it was, what the influence was on you. So, you know, just keep working through the things. But it is a constant process. It's not something you can just suddenly break and that's it. As above, so below, air drumming this Zeppelin at work. Good stuff. Juliana, hello Juliana. Pleasant good day, Mr. Lee and everyone, and to you. Thank you for joining. Yolandi, how was everyone's Mercury retrograde? I had one of the worst ones ever. Apparently this retrograde was one of the really, really bad ones. I didn't actually notice it that much. I genuinely don't know. Every now and again I get communication problems and whatnot, but this particular one, not really, didn't affect me. As above, so below was rough. Was it retrograde? Makes sense now. Yes, Richard, it was. Luke's just let me know if I answered that question sufficiently, or if you need some more help with it. Everybody's kind of quiet tonight. Right, so what is everybody getting up to? It's just quiet. I'm going to have to come up with something here. Sure, Naor. Hello, evening master. Well, I'm not a master, I'm just a weird person. I'd love for you to talk more about working with sexual energy in order to evolve spiritually, and also about Luciferianism and the true origin of the deity. That's big topics. Lucifer himself, I have spoken about, and I think the difficulty there is, Lucifer didn't appear in the Bible at all, so it doesn't even fall into that category. But there's a lot of mythology surrounding the fallen angels, and Lucifer was part of that. Wasn't really, but a lot of mythology surrounding it, and therefore people have created a mythology that fits into their worldview. So for them, that's their mythology specifically. So we can't say there is one specific origin of the deity of Lucifer. Working with sexual energy in order to evolve spiritually, that's a huge topic. You can get into sacred sexuality and devotional workings with particular deities, where that deity becomes the sexiest thing in your world, and you give all devotion and everything to that deity. You can get into sacred sexuality where you're working with your own energy, and then also with other people's energy, and then you've got the whole area of sex magic, which is a tool that you can use to actually generate energy and push into your workings itself. Big, huge topic. I don't think we're going to talk about that on this particular show. What I'll try and do is make one of those longer documentary type style videos on a Monday. I'll try and slot it in somewhere. See as much information as I can pull out anyway. So I'll do that for you. Andrea, great background music. It is good, isn't it? It's my day list for Sunday evening. As above, so below. Had a lucid dream after invoking Leviathan this past week, but now I can't get back to the lucidity no matter how hard I try. Well, try not to push it, first of all. As soon as you start pushing these things, they kind of break apart, because you're trying to force yourself into something. And I know that as soon as you kind of let go and allow it to happen, it kind of just falls into place. But we have been coming out of Mercury retrograde. Could be that, I don't know. Depends on how that influences you personally. So just, give yourself a break, try again next week, this coming week, and see what happens. And keep your diary, keep your journal. Ivan, I've recently begun to change my invocation from sitting to standing. Big difference in power and energy. It can be. And it depends what you specifically you're talking about there in regards to invocation. If it's chanting ends, or whether it's doing the boredness rite, or whatever it may be. But standing can be quite good in that regard if you are trying to do invocation of spirits. It's almost like you've got more movement, maybe. And therefore the energy can sort of move around you, and you tend to, you might not notice it, but you tend to move with that energy that's flowing around you. When you're sitting, you can do it with your body, but when you're standing, your legs getting involved as well. I don't know if that's what you're talking about there. There's a lot of things we could consider in that regard. Luke's, thank you. Lilith also mentioned that it might take a while, and it's a process of inner transformation. A few days ago I wrote on paper some stuff like I'm purifying my energy from God, etc., and I burned it. Also I'm doing things like visualization to erase this energy from past. Cool, nice. Something else you might want to look at that I tend to always fall back on, specifically in something like this, is releasing past energies and stuff, is recapitulation from the Toltec path. There is recapitulation within psychology, but this is specifically with the Toltec path. The whole idea is, as we go through life, we meet people, and we go into situations, and we get go into specific locations, and we attach energy filaments to those places or people, and they attach to us, and we create memory through the past. The back and forth of the power of your own power and their power, and that continues. It doesn't go away. You keep those connections, and this is how people create perceptions of us. But recapitulation is bringing up those memories, and then just specific methods. You usually do a sweeping breath. You go from one side, you move your head from one side to the other, and you breathe. I can't remember exactly now. You might breathe in, and in which case you're pulling your energy filaments back, and then you breathe out and you sweep the other way around, and you push their energy filaments back to them. So you give their power back to them, you pull your power back to you, and you separate that connection. That's a very good method for doing the specific thing, releasing that energy from the past, and getting over it and understanding it. During the process of recapitulation, what often happens as well, especially if it's past memories from childhood and things like that, we may have perceived something within childhood in a certain manner, but when we go back as adults, we perceive it in a completely different way because we understand things a little differently now. We've had experiences and stuff like that, so we tend to understand things differently, and that can be quite a healing process within the memory itself. And then you do the recapitulation, release the energies, and it's a really good process. It's one that I think is so good. I think everybody should be doing it personally. Yeah, so have a look for that. Give it a try. Andrea, I've been helping my new neighbours to improve their good luck. That's cool. Well, I like that. That's cool. You can help all of us improve our good luck if you want. It's always a good thing. Sure, Nayor, amazing thing. It's a pleasure. Yolandi, I found that I have to be careful when I watch before or as I fall asleep. I was watching Exuma, and it bled over into my dreams. First time it happens to me. Yeah, no, it definitely can. Especially something like Exuma. Exuma is a brilliant movie, but it's very kind of visceral. It kind of creeps into your subconscious mind, and you take that, whatever you. I mean, this is a method of doing dreaming, actually doing dream work, and specifically working with deities. You kind of you think about them. You may use a mantra or chant or an N, or just speak to them while you're falling asleep, and you can actually take yourself into dreaming with the spirit itself. So if you're watching a movie, which also plays on the mirror neurons of the brain, you can definitely carry that over into your dreaming, which you can have some good effects with it, actually. Andrea said Alistair's still grappling with his depression. Oh, I'm sorry about that. That's not an easy thing. Yolandi, we are still in the shadow of the retrograde. No, so next week things may be better. Yeah. I always find the shadow period the worst, actually, when it comes to Mercury retrograde. So maybe I'll feel it in the next few days. Sorry, the keyboard is about a yard away from my arm. Explaining who Alistair is. Arwen, that's a nice song. Not sure which one you're talking about, whether it was this one or the previous one now. They're all good, though. Luke's, well, that was so smart. You keep surprising me with your knowledge. Thank you, Uncle Nate. It's a pleasure. I surprise myself sometimes as well. I was actually watching some TikToks, and I thought something I should probably do. I see a lot of people are kind of doing like qualification introductions. Like, they'll start a TikTok video and they'll go, "Hi, my name is blah, and I've been a witch, or whatever witch, for so X and Y, XYZ years, and you're thinking I should do that. Like, hi, I'm Lee. I'm a weird fucking person, and I've been practicing for a fucking long time. I can't remember now. We should do that on my TikTok videos, if I do them again. I keep starting TikTok and then stopping. Jono's here. Hello, Jono. Ivan, I've learned so much from you for a while now. I just wanted to say thank you. It's an absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Thank you for mentioning it. Andrea, that's the way things leak into my dreams too. Got to be selective when I fall asleep too. Yeah. That's why I kind of like to. I like to read fiction before I'm just before sleeping. Just kind of wind down the brain. Andy too. Andrea, give hubby a big hug from me. Mine also flares up now and then. I understand what he's going through. Yeah, depression's not an easy thing. RON, is blood magic dangerous? No, I wouldn't say so. We actually did a show on Into the Wildwood. Well, it was actually Taglocks and blood magic. We actually got quite a bit into blood magic, so you might want to go watch that. I should actually start linking Into the Wildwood in this description as well. Go onto YouTube, search for Into the Wildwood. You should see myself and Kai talking about stuff. We've been doing it for a few years now. But yeah, blood magic, there's a variety of different ways you can do blood magic. Usually it's a connection to you, and it's a very intimate, personal connection, using blood, and quite a strong one. So there are some things you don't want to do, obviously, because I believe anyway, it creates such a strong connection to you. You don't want to give blood to entities that you haven't created a bond with yet, because you could be picking up a parasite, and that just makes the connection stronger. So you only want to do that when you've built a good relationship with a spirit, and you're talking to that spirit, and then if you want to, you don't have to, you can offer blood. But it's a good substance or fluid, bodily fluid, to use to strengthen things. It's also the bodily fluid that sustains life, so you may want to, if you've created servitors, then you can feed your servitors with blood, because it sustains life. Your familiars you can feed with blood, or feed blood to them. So there's a lot of things, but yeah, make sure that you've got a good, strong connection with whatever you're working with before you offer blood to them. Don't use blood in things like a witch bottle. That's supposed to be waste products, not something like blood, or sexual fluids, or really anything like that. I would stick to, when it comes to things like witch bottles for protection, you want to use urine, and that's it. And I think, when we talk about any kind of magic, is it dangerous or is it not? Yeah, it can be if you do it wrong. Anything. If you brush your teeth wrong and stab your back of your throat with a toothbrush, it's dangerous. All you're doing is brushing your teeth. So anything can be dangerous if it's not done correctly. But if it is done correctly, it can be very useful and very potent, very powerful. Rocky Divine Light, hello, this beloved goddess of the divine. Hello. And Andrea, talking about depression. I need to make this bloody font bigger. I'll have to do that another time. Unless it will help if I do this. Oh, there we go, that's bigger. Okay, now I can see it properly. Just move that over there. As above, so below. Can a mirror box enhance a witch's bottle? That's going to be something you might want to experiment very, very carefully with. because a mirror box kind of bounces or reflects the energy that's being aimed at it or being contained within it. So yeah, you see the problem is no, this isn't going to work, because the problem is with a witch bottle, what you use in the witch bottle is specifically is to attract the energy into the bottle. So if you've got a mirror box that is internal mirror box where the mirrors are facing inwards, all you're doing is just bouncing the energy around, nothing can get into it. If it's reflecting outwards, again, you're stopping the energy from getting into the bottle. So the witch bottle itself is specifically for attracting the energy to trap that spirit energy, whatever it is. So yeah, I wouldn't do a mirror box with the witch bottle. Jono, I use my blood in creating some of my personal tools like my staff, wand and athame. Really makes them personal to me, and pro-responsible use of blood in magic. That's also a great use of blood and blood magic itself, is to actually empower, love that word, empower your working tools. Yeah. Arwen, so it feeds servitors. That makes it. Yes, you can definitely use it. I don't use it very often to feed my servitors because every now and again I do create several, and I don't want to feed them all with my blood. So, but it depends on what the servitor's made for, what its purpose is. Quite often, the energy that from the work that it's doing will feed it, and then it becomes like a perpetual motion type thing. So you don't need to feed them with blood, but it is an option. A servitor is a creation of your own. It usually comes from your own energy. You've created it. It's going to have your own energy connected to it, whether you create it from the elements or planetary energies or whatever energy you're using to create the servitor. It's going to be connected to your own energy, so it is part of you. So feeding it with blood kind of makes sense. But coming back to tools, the working tools, and empowering them with your blood, we can actually say this very similarly. A working tool gets, over time, it starts to create an energy, and I believe that we can actually create servitors or thought forms that become the tools themselves. And if it's something like a wand that you have, you've asked the tree to add the spirit of the tree or the dryad into the wand or the staff, whatever it is, that's got its own spirit to begin with. So that even becomes, it's quite an interesting avenue to go down, actually. Even spell work, I think that every time we do a spell work, we create a thought form, which goes off and does what we need it to do. Sure, Nail. I saw your video about working with energy meditation prior to working with deities. Isn't the work with deities a type of meditation trance-like in itself? Can you elaborate a bit about that? Yes, absolutely it is. Meditation, energy work comes in many different forms. If you are doing some kind of devotional meditation with a deity, you may not just be thinking of it. If it's like a Hindu deity, you may be using a mantra, a Bij mantra, or a Gayatri mantra for that particular deity. So you are in a meditative state, you are repeating a mantra which is putting you into a trance state, because that's very much like drumming or something like that. So if you're working with deities, yes, absolutely, it's meditation, and because you're actually connecting to the energy of that deity, you're working with the energy of the god or goddess itself. This comes back to energy flows where attention goes. So if your attention is on a particular god, you are going to pull that energy towards you. You are going to surround yourself with the energy. You are going to start resonating at the same vibrational state, and therefore your own vibrational state does change, which is your energy work aspect. So yeah, absolutely. I think I answered that one sufficiently. And yeah, be right back. Jasper's needing a tree. Alright, go give Jasper a tree. Arwen, I know this is a dumb question, but how do I know it's mine? If you're talking about a servitor, it's because you've created it. There's no doubt. I mean, it's a process that you go through and you actually create the servitor or the thought form. It comes from you. It's not, you can't have a servitor, or somebody else can't give you a servitor. I say that, there are ways to actually do that, but it's not really something that people do. That's usually something that's passed on from teacher to student, and it's usually considered to be a familiar, rather than the servitor type aspect. Same thing at the end of the day, but yeah, fuzzy lines again. But yeah, if you're going to, you create a servitor, you know it's yours because it's work that you do. It's not something you get from somewhere else. Ivan, I am so surprised and grateful to know that my left-hand path work is so compatible with my connection with Hinduism. My work with Shiva has many similarities with King Lucifer. Yeah, Shiva, I think a lot of people actually associate Shiva or connect Shiva with Pan, or a horned deity. My Lucifer is a horned deity with flame betwixt the horns, so yeah, makes sense. Yeah, definitely. You can find the synchronicities, or I've forgotten the word now. Syncretisms. There we go. I don't even know if that is a word. Syncretisms. As long as you understand both paths completely, then you can find the syncretic aspects to them. Jono, how do you guys get blood? I normally make a small nick in a fingertip. I've been wanting to get one of those blood sugar test lancets, but I've never gotten around to it. I don't. I'm assuming that's don't menstruate, because I know you're not. I know who you are. I've got that bloody little heart over the words again. I use the blood sugar test. Hang on. I think I've got some here. Please hold. I don't know if my... Hang on. So, I know you live in the same country as I do. Hopefully this doesn't... Okay, don't know if you can see that. Oh, bloody hell, it's going all fuzzy. You guys go to Discount. They are called Microlet. And they look like this. They're all different colours, they're all pretty colours. They just look like that. And it's got a little round piece here. You turn the round piece and it's just a little needle, and you just prick that. Simple. I used to have the trigger ones. You kind of push on your finger and you push it down, it goes ting! That was quite fun. But these work fine. Or I actually sometimes get a hypodermic needle and just push that into my finger. And I actually find the hypodermics actually work pretty well because they're so fine. It's not sore afterwards. I've also cut my hand with a razor blade. It takes ages to heal. But again, it's a nice clean cut, so it does heal completely. I have in the past. You're not going to see it on the camera, but I've still got a scar from 10 years ago. I actually cut myself with a steak knife to try and draw blood. It's weird shit we do. I just thought if it cuts a steak, it'll be able to get through my skin. I'm like, no, it didn't. I have to keep hacking away at it. Yeah. Ivan, I use the same brand of lancets. Oh, is it this one, the Microlet? Yeah. Orwin, are there no women in your country? There are lots of women here. But I know Jono himself doesn't menstruate. There you go. Jono, yes, that's exactly the product I've wanted to get at Disco. Yep. They've got a few different ones, so just go in there and ask. If you want the trigger ones, I'm not actually sure they do the trigger ones anymore, because I used to order them off Take-A-Lot. I can't find them anymore. They were great, I love those ones. Sometimes they didn't really get through the skin properly. I've got very thick skin, so it didn't really work. But yeah, if you are going to do it with a lancet or whatever, do it like on the side of, kind of push your finger and do it on the side there. Don't do it right in the center. It just seems to work better if you just do it on the side, just below the nail. It just works better. Where am I? Nail. I always feel automatically connected in the desert to downloads, the clarity and resonance. How do you find or create this state when you travel or in the city? Mobile, altar, artifacts, stones, etc. Oh, that's gonna depend what you've got available to you, really. If you're traveling, I wouldn't. There's no, I think a lot of people do have these little pack away and travel altars. I don't think it's actually necessary. I work with my astral temple quite a lot, so I don't need anything physical. I can sit down, move into the inner temple, and go and work in my astral temple for whatever I need to. And I've built such a bloody big one. I've got doors all over the place. I even got levels now. So I don't really need anything or an altar. So if I was to travel, I can just do that. But if you're talking about actually connecting to the land, then sure, go and sit on the ground outside. If it's a new area for you, go sit on the ground outside, because it's a new connection, and slowly connect with the energy itself, the energy of the land, the spirits that are there, and do that. I did have a friend who brought, he wasn't supposed to, he brought some little stones. They weren't big stones, but there's an old forest he used to live next to in England, and I'm obviously born in England, so that's where my roots are. So he brought some stones when he came to visit years ago. I've still got those, but I don't really use them that much. Yeah. Yolandi, so your question was too difficult to answer. What question? I'm sure I answered your question. You spoke to Andrea, you spoke about the retrograde, there was a dream which I answered. That's all I've got here. Unless it's skipped. Hang on, let me just switch this to live chat. I forgot to do that. Okay. Oh, it did skip it because I was in top chat instead of live chat. Sorry, I always mean to change that, and I forgot this time. Has anybody done investigation into what happens to magic created by someone with dementia or Alzheimer's or one of those diseases? No. That would be interesting. Yeah, because you've got a time travel aspect there. You've got possible thought forms created. Yeah, never actually thought about that for some reason. So we'll have to have a look at that one. No, I don't know if I've missed any. If I've missed any other questions, just let me know. No, it's switched. There we go. Arwen, I didn't know that was possible, a travel altar. Yeah, some people have them. It's kind of like just a little box. You can put in your suitcase, and I don't know, it might have some items like a candle and some incense in there with a little lighter. Crystals. A lot of people like to work with crystals. It might have some feathers in. Personal stuff that you can connect with. But again, that's going to differ from person to person. But it's something you can pack away into a box, and then you can take out anywhere you are. You can unpack, you close the box, and then you just put all the items on top of the box, so it becomes a tiny little altar. Dandy X Randy, I enjoy doing a quarterly blood offering to the earth and my houseplants. Lots of good minerals in it for helping them grow. Oh, absolutely. Actually, blood's an amazing food source for plants generally. Cosmic, awesome Tuesday, thank you. Spotify chose it for me. Sure, very interesting, thank you, it's a pleasure. RON, so this means mental health or health in general can impact results of magic. Thank you for bringing that. Yes, it can, it definitely can. And it's one of those things that we always say, if you are having mental health issues, get that sorted out, because even something as simple as meditation can affect mental health issues in a negative way. So it's not something you want to mess around with. I know a lot of people come into magic with the idea of I'm not going to say healing. I don't think you can really heal, but improving their mental health through magic and stuff. But it's always, yes, it can help. But first of all, get the proper professional therapy that you need, and any medication you may need, and get it in sorted out, or at least handled before you start with the meditation, the foundational work, and doing magic itself, because it can otherwise create a lot of problems, including psychoses, all sorts of bad things. So yeah. Dandy, Jono, another good thing you can do is get some lancets, like for diabetics, and that's what we were talking about, the lancets themselves. Andrea said to Yolandi, I've been attacked by my own mother magically, but it was easily deflected. Only once I realised where the attack was coming from. Yeah. It's always a good idea to have wards up as well. You never know. Somebody just has a trigger finger and doesn't like you for some reason and sends a curse. People do weird shit all the time. That's it for the questions. Now I'm just going to go back and see if I did miss any of those. I'm not sure if I did. There's a lot in here. Okay. If I did miss anything, just let me know, please. Harrowin, Andrea, how did she attack you? I'll just read this stuff just in case you don't see it in the chat or something. Andrea, she has dementia. Oh, there we go. That was Giolandi. It's actually an interesting thing, dementia and Alzheimer's. It's got my brain thinking now. Oh my god, my brain's working. Jono, who's that dude who made the stang famous? I made an awesome stang, that's my portable altar. Idea is wherever I put the stang is automatically a sacred space. I haven't used it much, but I like it. You're probably thinking of Robert Cochrane. I think that's where the stang actually began, the idea of the stang. And yes, you can it is usually used as an altar. In fact, if you put the crossed arrows on it, you can hang a wreath on it, and it can become seasonal. You can move it around your physical compass into different positions for the seeds to represent the seasons, and dress it that way. You can put it in the center to act as the axis mundi. You can put it in the northern hemisphere. It's usually put in the north because it represents the passage to the horn god in the north. A lot of things you can do with the stang. Cosmic, any money magic to be done? Business is going to slow down for winter. If it's coming up to winter, you see, this is the difficult thing. We should be moving with the cycles, not just the day and the month, but the year as well. And if you're coming into winter, you should be storing at this point. You're going through autumn time, so you should be storing your grain. And in this instance, storing your grain is putting away your money in preparation for the winter months, because that's the time when you slow down. You want to hibernate. You want to go through that period, and then when you come out of winter after Yule, then you can start slowly picking up again, starting making plans for the coming year. And then when you hit Imbolg, you start moving again. You start germinating the seeds that you've now planted from the previous year and all that stuff. So we should be moving with the cycles, but we live in this modern world, so it's not always easy. But it's usually I just carry on. I usually carry on with what I've been doing. I've got my boon box that I've been using since January. It's going really well, so I just carry on doing that and just monthly doing something with it. Jono, Cochrane, that's to do with we did actually start. This is when Into the Wildwood was still on my channel. It was what do we call it? Oh my word, Black Hat Chat. That's what we call it. We started doing the Cochrane letters, and I don't think there were a couple of people who enjoyed it, but I don't think everybody did, because not many people have heard of Cochrane. Not many people are interested in that particular avenue. So. But we did do a few, so if you want to have a look in the archive on Into the Wildwood, if you're interested, it might interest you there. Andrea, Arwen, she tried cursing me, nasty stuff, best not give it attention. That's a good point. Arwen, I found that reading helps when things get out of control, reading anything. Yeah, if it works. Use it. Anything that works, use it. Cosmic, I picked some wood for a stang, but it's gotten wet tonight. It wasn't supposed to rain, and that's a bit of a pity. And it's going to swell, and then it's going to dry, and it's probably going to crack. So you might need to go hunting a bit more. Richard, Jono, very jealous. I also want to make a stang. Well, don't rush these things. It's not like. I often believe that the tools will come to you when you need them. So if you're walking in a park somewhere and you find a staff or a nice Y-shaped branch or something like that, and it says to you, "I'm your stang," or "I'm your staff," or "I'm your wand," then you found it. It's kind of come home. Unless you want to go hunting and you go find a specific tree and you build a relationship with that tree over a long period of time, you give it offerings and everything else, and then you ask it for, to take a limb or a branch or whatever it is. That's an option. I don't really like that option myself. I'm a bit iffy when it comes to that myself. I don't like ones. I'll take because it's like the ends of branches, but thick pieces. I'm not very happy about that. But I had a stang. It got stolen. All my stuff was in my car because I went to a friend's house to do ritual one night and came back, left everything in the car, ran into the house to grab something so I could go to the shop, and by the time I got out, my car had been stolen. Everything was in there. My stang, my other athame was. There was a crystal ball. There was a whole load of stuff that was in there. But I've still got my skull, that's cool. My Roebuck skull. So I actually had an idea I've got these candlesticks. I've got big ones that are like come up to my chest with a candle on. To actually put a dowel in the top, and then mount the Roebuck skull on there, because then it's got the flame between the horns, which would be pretty cool, and use those as stangs. because I work indoors anyway, so I don't really need something I can shove into the ground, because I can't shove it into my ground here. So look, Yolandi, Andrea, that is why I asked. I'm sorry to hear about your mum. I was thinking that the person can be potentially dangerous, but not even know it. Yeah, it is. The other obvious thing when it comes to people who have, the elderly, they do tend to drain people. They become psychic vampires without knowing it as well. So that's also something to look out for. Not trying to do harm. It's just, they're getting elderly and sick. They need the extra energy to keep going. RON, it can be hard to interact with others and read in your head though. Yeah. But that's fine. You don't have to interact with people. Reading's more important most of the time. That's so fucked, part of my language. That's absolutely fine here. Richard, as a best below, got to make an astral stang. That's good, yeah. I actually haven't done that. I've got a big plinth and everything else, but I haven't made a stang. Or have I? No, I haven't yet. Arwen, that was my response to Andrew. Oh, yes, okay. The reading thing. I can't, I'm getting lost in my own chat here. How about that? Cosmic, I'd love to slow down for winter, shut shop completely, but like you say, bills still need paying, yeah, I know. So I think, the best thing to do during those slowdown periods, the hibernation period during winter, is to keep something going that it's constantly going. Don't try and start new stuff. It's definitely not the right time to start new stuff. So keep the things you've already got going, keep them going. And during the autumn stage, you can start making plans. So you're planting the seeds for Imbolg, when spring starts again. And then you allow that period, the gestation period, allow the seeds to stay in the ground for that whole period during Yule, the winter months. And then when we come back, we start coming back into spring, and those seeds can then start germinating. And then when we hit, sort of mid-springish, during the equinox, that's when the things really start moving, because then the plants are breaking through. Obviously I'm referencing plants to finances, money, and things like that. So, just keep the things going you've got, but in autumn, plant the seeds. In spring, start moving with everything. Andrea, no problem. She never liked me, but when she started to get Alzheimer's, she began to accuse me of stealing and hexed me, etc. As soon as I realised it was from her, I deflected it. Yeah. John Lee, if I understand right, you don't use tools much. Are there go-to tools you use often? By the way, very cool that your lancets for blood magic were an arm's reach away. That's a witch. Well, everything's over here. My books are in the other room because I need another shelf in here. I don't use a lot of tools myself. There are times when I do experiment with tools. I've got. Do you want me to show you my scrying mirror? Because it's also an arm's length away. Let me just grab the stand as well. No, actually I can't show you this because it's been bloody consecrated and everything. Sorry, I can't show you that. Oh shit. Oh shit, that's falling over the place. Sorry, I can't show you that. It's a working tool now. If I hold it up to the camera, I don't know what's going to happen. I've got a scrying mirror. I've got things like a skull and hearthstone, because that's part of my own personal tradition. A wand for tapping the bone. So those things I use specifically for ritual purposes, for connecting with the ancestors and whatnot. The scrying devices I'm experimenting with those at the moment. I don't usually use scrying devices. I love scrying. I absolutely enjoy scrying. Totally enjoy it. Love it. But it's not really something that I use to get messages from spirits. That's a completely different method I use. But I am experimenting with something at the moment in regards to the triangle of arch and scrying direct transmission with the spirit and stuff, which I've spoken about before, I think. So there's that. I do have an athame, I don't really use it. Candles, incense, all that stuff, all the usual stuff. Yeah. Oh wait, hang on, you asked, are there any go-to tools you use often? Not use often. My offering bowl. Every day it gets new water in it. That's the one I use often, I'd say. If I'm doing ritual, I do have a cord that I use. I sometimes wear my robe, I sometimes don't, or sometimes wear nothing, so can't really say I dress up for the occasion quite often. But I do wear my cord all the time if I'm doing ritual. So I guess that would be one. Yeah, I think that's about it. I do have I've actually got a Greek-looking pot that I sometimes use as a cauldron, because it's actually on like a little stand, tripod stand, and it's great for scrying, especially if you're standing, because you fill it with water and then you put like a tea light underneath, and it creates this illumination around the pot. That's the only light you have in the room. It creates this illumination. It's like this black hole that, like, in the ground. It's amazing. So that's quite fun to use as well. I must use that more. I haven't done that in a while. But yeah, there we go. Arwen, that sounds annoying and frustratingly. I've lost my place now. What was that in reference to? You can recover them or be gifted something cool in place. Oh, the stolen stuff. Yeah. No, I mean that was years ago. So, as I say, I've still got what I did with. I actually had a staff, which it became the house for my dragon. So it had well, it's actually Ohm. I was studying Ohm at the time, so it had like Ohm script all over the place. And yeah, I don't know why I did that actually. But then what I did, I mounted the robot skull onto that, and for some reason I did not take the robot skull that evening. And yeah, don't know why. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I've still got that, so that's cool. You just make other stuff. I'm sure the people who stole the car got a bit of a fright when they found out what was in the back. Anyone else ever found a bone in their yard out of nowhere? I think I have. Quite often people just, the dogs will eat something, or they'll eat something, they'll throw the bones over walls, and that's what usually finds its way into your yard. And then it just sort of gets buried under the ground and whatnot. Andrea, your book that I won has brought me a lot of good luck. Just want absolute pleasure. Glad it's brought you some luck. That's good. Jono Sweetly, thanks Lee. Offering bowl is a nice answer. Just like comparing notes with other practitioners, I really enjoy studying a picture of someone else's altar to see how much I understand. Yeah, that was quite fun. I've got all my statues as well. I mean, I've got some, not all of them. I've got a statue of Shiva. I've got a really cute little Kerberos. I've got Hanuman on there. I've got a picture of Hecate. I've got Baphomet. Yeah, I think that's it. I've got a little. Those poppets that my friend Rihanna used to make. When we used to have the poppet house. Got one of those on there, which is for Boone. It's housing Boone as well. So yeah. Kerry's here. Hello, Kerry. Thanks for joining. I've still got lots of hot chocolate because I've been talking my little head off. Let's see how we're doing it over here. Oh, wrong, go down. Yeah, there's quite a few people tonight. Lee thought Beelzebub was a demon of gluttony. I can't remember him being a demon of gluttony. Let me just check my notes over here. I'd use Beelzebub for business. That's what I connect with Beelzebub for anyway. Let's have a look. He's usually considered to be the Lord of the Flies, but I think that's been, a lot of people say, and I believe it as well, that it's been misinterpreted, and should be, some say Lord of the Flyers, which is about air flight. It's actually not got to do anything with flies, but he is the Lord of the Mountain of Zebub, because he is Baal Zebub. Let's check gluttony here. Oops, wait, how do you spell gluttony again? Belphegor is, what did you say? You did say Beelzebub. Belphegor is a demon, or considered to many as being a demon of gluttony. It does say, it is also stated that Andres Serrano, a 16th century Jesuit priest in Mexico and the Philippines, put Belphegor in charge of the deadly sin of gluttony, as did the 1409 Lollard manuscript titled Lantern of Light. So that might be, that possibly where the connection is coming from there, just a misconnection. Andrea Matt Owen just caught up with the chat. Yep, she was always neglectful, then actively cruel, so I stopped contact with her and life has been getting better ever since. Yep. Cut out the negative stuff that's holding you back. RON, I still have a lot of research, but I've taken some downtime because of family matters. That's a movie too, right? What's a movie too? I really am getting lost in my own chat tonight. Must be that Mercury retrograde thing. Yeah, it's also, you've got to take care of family matters as well. You've got to, can't always be go with study and practice and that stuff. There's all life to take care of. John O'Hecate is awesome. I've never worked with her, but I met her briefly when I was visiting Luna. It was a big dark moon working, and Hecate was waiting in the space when I checked it out. I like her. She is absolutely awesome. I think a lot of people, especially nowadays, a lot of people are connecting with Hecate. There's often the connection with Hecate and Pan, which is also my connection. I started off with Pan, and Hecate was always knocking at my door for years and years, and yeah, I tried to ignore it as much as I could, but I couldn't eventually. Let's see what music we've got coming up. We've got some Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Jimi Hendrix, Cream, The Doors, The Rolling Stones, Zombies. That's a good playlist. Should actually save this one because it changes every. Oh, I have saved this one. Okay. Cool. I remember, won't Hecate get tired after working with so many? These are 5-dimensional beings, they're not human. They don't, it's not the same thing really. We would be, yeah, because there's thousands upon thousands, millions of people working with these spirits all at the same time, but as I said, they're 5-dimensional beings. There is some law that, just also say that the gods themselves are not the ones interacting with us. We get introduced to them and then they give us a familiar to work with. It's one side of the law. There's many sides of different laws. Any Bauhaus background music, please. Bela Lugosi's dead. Oh yeah, should we do some of that? I've got a dark and gothic playlist here somewhere. Where's my dark and gothic playlist? Here we go. Now Jono's going to complain. There we go. Here's Bela Lugosi. We'll just start there. Yeah, okay, there we go. Chat's done. Anybody still around? We're in that stage of weather at the moment. I can't decide if it's hot or cold. Take my jersey off, I'm cold. I'll put it on and get too hot. Kerry, I asked Beelzebub to help me lose weight, and he showed me the 7 of Wands, a young man on a hill, high place with a staff, looking down on 6 advancing staffs, but he had the high ground. Well then, obviously, probably an indication that you have the high ground, because Beelzebub will probably help the motivation. In that regard, you're going to get over it because you will have the motivation to do so. Jono, Oren, maybe some gods for me. Hecate is right up there next to Shiva and Odin when it comes to how powerful and dynamic they are. Yeah, they're oh, sorry. Andrea said sorry at Jono. Yeah, we're doing some goth now, Jono. Sorry. Danny said listening here at work. Okay. Oh, hang on. Let me go back. What was it? Oh, yes. I was talking about the deities. As I said, these are 5-dimensional beings. They're not going to really get bogged down with billions of people calling them all at the same time. All of them. Don't have the same human limitations that we have. Dandy, I've been working with Clawneck recently in the past week here to get my finances back on track. Great spiritual work. I love working. I worked with Clawneck a while back. He was also one of the spirits that I added into the when I started the Demonic Wealth Web, which is one of the memberships on here and on Patreon now. When I did the Demonic Wealth Web, I created an egregore that had called them the energy of 5 different demons. Clawneck was one of them. That's evolved into the egregore project now, so that's become a much bigger thing. Dandy, Leviathan is my main deity that I work with though. Leviathan's amazing. I love Leviathan. I just love the energy. It's so calming. Yeah. The old man, the emperor type of energy. Jono, Andrea, it's all good. When you request American country music, I'll voice my objection. I do have a few playlists of Native American music. That's different, but I guess we could call that American country music. It's just a better kind. Kerry, President Marbas, hail President Marbas, helped my son heal from pancreatitis. Excellent. Marbas is one I also work closely with as well for healing specifically. I always see him as the, what was it? What's his name? Terry, the Frosty's tiger. Can't remember his name now. But I always see that character with a lion head instead of a tiger head when I work with Marbass. Yolandi Winter in Cape Town walks out of the room, turns around, comes back and says one more thing. Here is snow, rainstorm and gale force winds. Yep. You're having some shit weather down there in Cape Town. Andrea, do you know I do like Johnny Cash? Johnny Cash, excellent. He's brilliant. There's a lot of music. A lot of Bauhaus did a few of Johnny Cash's, if I remember correctly. Arwen, a man helped me find a book I was looking for. I was looking to study a language. I couldn't find it before, but then someone reached out and I told them my trouble. I went to where they suggested and found a man there who told me to take a good look, and there it was. Yeah. When you say a man, are we talking about an actual person or a spirit? Because that would get even more interesting. Dandy's super calming energy. The first time I meditated with him, he had me come out into the ocean, and I have a huge fear of drowning. Me too. He took good care of me, and I didn't feel frightened at all. Yeah, I know what you mean. I had a very big fear of the ocean itself for a long time because I almost did drown in the ocean. So yeah, that was a big problem of mine, but I think that's gone now. Johnny, I absolutely love Johnny Cash. Arwen, found a man. Oh, we've done that one already. Andrea, John, you've got great taste. Of course, he's got great taste. He's on the chat here. Everybody on the chat here's got great taste. Arwen, I have no clue, but let me tell you this. I had been there before, and that book was not there. Yeah. Sometimes they just pop out of nowhere. All this stuff. Alright, I think everybody's getting tired. I have to start wrapping up just now, I think. When you were in 6th grade, I don't know what 6th grade would be equivalent to when I was in school now. That really shocked me. Dandy's going. Bye, Dandy. Have a good one. Have a good week. Yes, back in school. Yeah. I used to have some weird experiences when I was a little kid as well. You're talking about books. Well, not really weird. I just had memories of sitting on the library floor, reading supernatural, esoteric books at the age of 12. Kerry, I came in late, but thank you. It's a pleasure. Andrea, bookshops are magic. They are indeed. Bookshops are the most amazing things. I always wanted to own a bookshop. We used to go to one, obviously you wouldn't know what I'm talking about, but in Rosebank. I cannot remember the name of it, but there were two bookshops next to each other. There was one little one, a tiny little one, and it did all these really old, like first editions and stuff. But they used to have some amazing books. I bought the Book of Spirits by Alan Kardec there, like the original. It's a paperback, it's not a hardcover, but it seems to be the original because there's no like copyright page on it, which is really interesting. I bought Book of Fate, I think it was called, I can't remember. Anyway, but then next to it was this other one that was just a normal bookstore, with all your normal contemporary books and whatnot. But then you went downstairs and it had older books, and then you went right into the back downstairs and they had this little room and it just had all of these old first editions. Just used to go in there and just feel the energy. It was amazing. Jono, Luna's house has ghosts or something in it. I'm trying to get her to get a paranormal investigator friend to visit for a night. Not bad energy. I'm just always overcautious, remnant from Christianity. How would you approach something like that? I would talk to the spirit and try and find out what it is, who it is. Because I think quite often, people go in and they kind of, it's a ghost, therefore we've got to get rid of it, as you said, from that Christian worldview type of idea. But quite often it's the house spirit, and it's got more right to be there than you do. It's its body. And then we go in and we force this house spirit out of the house. We push it out of its own body. I mean, that's just rude. So yeah, first of all, check if it's a house spirit. If it is, get friendly with it, because it will protect you. Otherwise, it could be a remnant from somebody who lived in the house, or somebody who was close to that particular spot of land, depending on how old the spirit is. And it doesn't mean it's going to be there to harm anybody. In fact, if you talk to it and get friendly with it, it will probably help protect it as well. Because, I think a lot of these ghosts they're trying to reach out to people and nobody can hear them, and everybody ignores them. And then when they do actually get a message across, which is usually a bang or a bump or something like that, then everybody freaks out, and they kind of start pulling in exorcists and all this stuff and what have you. And then, but if you get friendly with them, quite often they'll stick around and they'll actually protect you. But at the same time, it could be something that is trying to harm the people in the house, and therefore you then go in and do a cleansing and things like that. And in a situation like that, you can also call on the house ghost and the house spirit to also help with that, because if you are friendly with the house spirit, it's also not going to want harm to come to you or its own body, its house. So yeah, there's a few options there, but there's a lot of reasons what the spirit could be friendly. And sometimes if the spirit is friendly, you might want to still get rid of it, as long as it's not the house spirit. I don't like people kicking the house spirit out, but it might be a friendly spirit that just needs to be relocated somewhere else, just to make everybody chill out a bit, and therefore you can relocate the spirit, put it into something and then take it with you, and allow it to come out and inhabit another space. If it's happy to do that, you need to check first if it is. Yeah. Their spirits they've got just as much right to be here as we do, and we think we have all the power and therefore we can just push everybody around. Don't like that. Jono, we tried with a Ouija board, we didn't get much. Candles flared up in response to questions, which was cool. Yeah. Just use candles to get your answers then. But I really would, instead of going in and pushing the spirits around, I would really get to know who they are and why they're there. And just be careful with. You did say it's a friend of yours, so you obviously know them. You're not going to go in and start pushing the spirits around, all silly things. Because I find a lot of these paranormal investigators on YouTube and stuff, they don't really know. They don't work with spirits. All they do is go around and kind of try and prove that spirits are there. And then when something does happen, they shit their pants. And it's like, what did you expect? Andrea said, that's magic, the bookshop where the old books were. Thank you for telling us. Yeah, absolute pleasure. Cosmic, I've loved my paranormal experiences at home. My then boyfriend, not so much. Sometimes it's quite useful in that circumstance. Andrea, a new house spirit here in my new home is lovely. Good stuff. Yeah. They usually are really nice. You know, I think we have to approach them with a lot of caution and respect, because, especially if it's an old house, because people prior to us don't work with the house spirits. They don't even know about it. They don't know it's there. And they kind of like throw the stuff in, and they kind of move in and take over and disrespect the house. And it can really piss them off. So, you know, we do need to kind of approach them with some caution and ease, and get to know them, befriend them. But then when you do, they're absolutely amazing. Arwen, if they destroy their home, will the ghost disappear? I would say no. Usually, it depends on the ghost, on the spirit itself. But quite often they will inhabit the actual land that the house is built on. I think a house spirit is a bit different. A house spirit is usually formed because of the energy which is put into the construction of the actual building itself. Yeah, so that spirit would probably actually disappear. But it's not something you can actually relocate somewhere else. A house spirit is fixed to the house itself, you know. So yeah, they'll probably disappear. But ghosts, you know, disembodied people, hungry ghosts, all of those things, you know, they're usually fixed to the land. Depends, again. Fuzzy areas. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt, fuzzy areas. Cosmic Bangle Bump, had objects from upstairs land on a cushion I was sat on downstairs. Very obvious hint they were there. If they came from upstairs and they landed on a cushion that you were on downstairs, did it come through the slab between floors? Because that would be even more interesting, because that's moving through a portal. I've seen a lot of that stuff on TikTok and that stuff lately, and I don't know. You know, with what we can do with videos and AI nowadays, I don't know what to believe half the stuff that's on social media. Andrea, respect is key, yes. Yeah, absolutely. Especially when it comes to the house spirits. I mean, house spirits are very similar to the land spirits. You know, you go in and you give them offerings, and you approach them with respect and build that relationship slowly. Right, I think I'm going to wind down and say goodnight, because it's time for me to go and get my beauty sleep. I mean, this doesn't happen naturally, you know, I've got to have my beauty sleep. Jono, Uncle, have you met the spirit of your current home? Not, I actually haven't. I think it's a very young spirit, and I don't know, it kind of, I do have a little place where I do offerings and stuff like that, but I haven't actually had any interaction with it, to be honest with you. And previous homes, I did meet a spirit but that was a complete misinterpretation, because it's still with me. I discovered later that it actually wasn't a house spirit. That's when I learned the house spirit stays with the house. You cannot move it from one place to another. You can move the energy that you've built, your own energy that you've built in a particular temple room or something like that. You can move that with you, but not the house spirit. But this one moved with me, and I actually eventually figured out it was like an ancestral familiar. So yeah, totally different spirit. Fuzzy lines again. Arwen, I was learning that song on bass. Is it still this one? It's playing at the moment. Oh, this is Joy Division. What was it before that? Oh, A Forest by The Cure was before that. Very good version of A Forest by, is it Carpathian Forest. I can't remember the name of the band. Sorry, but anyway, it was a very good version. There's a few people that have done that actually. Andrea, Hungry Ghosts would be a very interesting topic for Uncle Lee. Yeah, okay, I can add Hungry Ghosts. Just write it down. I also need to do, what was the other thing? Sexuality and magic. And Hungry Ghosts. Okay. Jono, thanks for stream. Pleasure. Thanks for being here. Cosmic. Then by then, boyfriend said it was like it came through a portal. It was directly above. Heard a dink dink and was drawn back in the room, and there was objects. Cool. That would be a very interesting experience. Arwen, have a good rest. Lee, take care, everyone. Hope to be around soon. I hope. Yeah, cool. Thanks for coming through today, and thanks everybody for being here today. I do enjoy these chats actually. Right, I might consider doing this a bit more often. I've just got to try and figure out when, because my time's all taken up. I'll try and figure that one out. Okay, I'm going to say goodnight then to everybody, or good day, wherever you are around the world. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheerio for now. Bye bye.